Where the hell's my Dota? There it is. I don't know why it always takes so long. Guys, we are starting early. I know, right? 8 minutes off of this supposed start time. They fired the game while I was still trying to fix Youth Fury's logo, because the logo they sent me is this, with the white border. And ain't no one want to see that. So I was trying to get rid of the white, and I'm not good because I'm only using GIMP, and I don't really know how to use that. It was awful. So my apologies to Youth Fury for not getting the right logo, but maybe send a PNG image next time. Guys, this is going to be the second best 3 on the day. Mad Kings going up against Furia Jovum. Let me know how close that is. I don't speak non-English languages very good, me only English. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that one, but either way, another lower bracket game, and the same stakes as last time. If you win, you're moving forward, and you're still gonna have a tough time because, well, the bracket's pretty grueling. Winner of this has to face up against SG. If you lose, you're out. So we'll see which one of these teams is able to put things together. We've seen a lot of SA qualifiers as of late, and both these two teams have struggled quite a bit. Haven't really seen Mad Kings do fantastic things. It was okay. I think SNK, I saw him play a really mean Bloodseeker, and that almost worked, but yeah, I'm not really sure if we're going to have any clear favorites off of this best of 3. Either way, we'll just take it as it comes as far as the draft is concerned, because we got Shadow Shaman, we got Nature's Prophet, Youth Fury, get themselves quite a bit of push right off the bat. We can see this game, unlike the last, Spirit Breaker is actually banned out here. Was not in the previous games, was not picked either. If you're going to pick up a Nature's Prophet, it makes sense to ban out the Spirit Breaker, that's for sure. On the Mad King side, on the other hand, Night Stalker picked up because he got through. You don't say no to a Night Stalker. And then a Winter Wyvern, which is certainly very interesting, is an okay hero to have if your towers are being pushed by Treants, but the Splinter Blast is, I mean, it's a above average nuke, I suppose, up against just creeps. The downside is it's clunky, it doesn't have single target, whatever. But it's going to cover Mad King's bases fairly well. Like, they have this offensive power from Night Stalker, they have the silence, they have the mini stun, and they have the vision. All 3 of which are components that you want when you're trying to deal with the Nature's Prophet. And yeah, they have the defensive power of the Winter Wyvern as well. If you're caught in with the Shadow Shaman instead of disables, if you're some generic carry that Mad Kings have yet to pick up, you'll be able to get bailed out by your Winter Wyvern, Servant Wards or not. So they have covered their bases. No cores just yet, though, on the Mad King side. Youth Fury, with a little bit of push to start things off, Treants and Serpent Wards. We'll see how much they actually want to do vis-a-vis killing off towers. Nature's Prophet going to be going towards the off lane. Troll Warlord, a very frequently seen hero with these type of strategies. If they really want to hit their timings, you go for that. Luna, TA, Shadow Fiend, like all these heroes that just get Desolator or want to get Desolator, add Terrorblade to that list. All great heroes for Youth Fury to have if their plan is indeed go, 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 push, push, push. On the Mad King side of things, if they want to try to deal with this, hero that they could pick up that's still in the pool and would be fairly useful is the Bat Rider. Really great hero to have versus the Nature's Prophet. Initiation is at a premium. If you are scared of being pushed in, you got to make sure you're able to start those towers. So, yeah, start those fights to defend those towers. If you English, that's how you're supposed to say that.
Radiant team pick.
We'll see if they actually go for that. No, it's a Legion Commander. Not a bad hero to have as well. Overwhelming odds. Does a pretty good job at clearing out those creeps. Maybe not the safest hero to be if you are the primary initiator. Jumping in for a duel is great if you have a lot of backup or a lot of duel damage. And, you know, of course, those things are kind of up in the air right now.
5 seconds remaining.
Pretty good hero to have versus the Shadow Shaman as well. Like, disables will just get purged off. Shadow Shaman has enough disables so that it's not going to be like a serious issue. You'll still be able to be somewhat effective. The Mad Kings are mostly on the responsive right now, and I think for Youth Fury, they should take this pick as a cue to go for that aggressive push style. Like, if Mad Kings are just going to be perfectly responsive, then you just do whatever the hell you want. You're allowed to, because you don't really have to answer the Legion Commander necessarily. Like, yeah, if you get, like, a Dazzle, you'll make sure that the duels aren't going to be won by the Legion. But, I mean, you're not going to get any accidental duel damage from the Legion, that's for sure, up against Winter Wyvern. So, Youth Fury, really like the Troll here. They should sit on their... they could pick up the mid lane here right now, actually. If they're concerned about initiation, then Puck certainly is a strong one. Struggles somewhat up against the Night Stalker. They could also go for a Viper if they want to just look towards just absolute lane dominance. Those would be, some pretty safe picks for that mid lane. Very rarely do you see those heroes just run into really big issues. Saw a couple Death Prophets earlier today. Would also fit the bill as far as what Youth Fury can do with this draft. Now, I'm talking a lot about if they actually want to keep this push going. They don't necessarily have to do that. They could say, okay, this is enough push. We're just going to play a slow game now, since we do have the split push from the Nature's Prophet, grab an Io or something like that, or a Boots of Travel hero, a Spectre, an Ember Spirit, perhaps. Maybe not an Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit's rough against Night Stalker Legion. But they have their options, and they are taking their sweet time as far as picking said options. Troll Warlord. No, it's a Sand King. Alright, a little bit of extra initiation power here. I think Sand King is like kind of a medium pick in all circumstances. Like he's fine right now. I'm assuming he's gonna be played as support, so as far as stuns are concerned, Youth Fury will have them in spades. You're going up against Legion Commander, going up against Winter Wyvern, so it's maybe not the cleanest, but an additional stun is never bad. But it does seem like it feels like they're making that pick because they don't really know what direction they should be going for. It's some initiation power for themselves coming out from the 4-position role, which is very, very powerful. If you're going for a puck or something like that and you end up getting hit with the Crippling Fear, you're just donezo. Youth Fury get an OD as their last. Real weakness I see for Youth Fury right now is their lack of burst. An OD can do a lot of damage. Lack of magical burst. Can do a lot of damage to these heroes, but up against Timbersaw now, the pick for Mad Kings, will be a little bit difficult to actually bring him down. Now, the Imprison and the abundance of disables makes it so that they will have time to kill off the Timbersaw for sure. But this is not just a Timbersaw you have to kill off. This is a Timbersaw with Legion cover and Winter Wyvern cover.
Radiant team back.
And they will take out the Ursa, probably the best hero that Youth Fury could have had if they were actually going to take out the Timber. You could look for some RNG rolls as well. I mean, Phantom Assassin can take down Timbersaw mighty quick if you're just a little bit lucky. The Mad Kings
10 seconds
should be putting that Timbersaw in the mid lane. Mostly that's what prompted the OD. Although they are going to still cover the OD a little bit more, banning out the Viper. Probably the hero with the best matchup versus OD, or one of the best matchups. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Viper has a good matchup versus everyone, right? Not everyone. The vast majority of people who go towards the mid lane will have a, at best, mediocre time up against Viper. That's a fair way of putting it, I think.
5 seconds remaining.
Last pick, though. Safe lane. Who's going to be doing the scaling? With an OD, they will have some pretty good late game. As far as aggressive power early on, seems like that ship has kind of sailed, so I'd like to see Youth Fury kind of set up for a later stage. Troll and PA, both very much so viable here. Luna's not terrible. Or a Monkey King. Hello. That's a little bit of a twist. I have not actually seen many core Monkey Kings work out. Physical damage is going to be huge from Youth Fury, and I mean, Winter Wyvern and Timbersaw are okay with that. This is going to be a very aggressive mid-game play here from Youth Fury. Monkey King is pretty powerful as a core in the early mid-game stages. It really depends on how much farm you get to see how powerful you are late game. But like when you're the strongest Monkey King, that's the mid-game. That's like the 15-minute mark when get those Jingu stacks up and you just smack down the stick. Winter Wyvern like instantly dead and everyone else soon to follow. Don't mind this pick one bit from Youth Fury, although I personally haven't seen the Monkey King succeed enough in that capacity to say that whether or not I like it for sure. But that's just me, guys. That is just me. It's very different watching a game of Monkey King being casted compared to casting it yourself. And I'm sure not many of you will understand that, but trust me, it's different. Mad Kings, what's their response here? Mid lane for the OD, or are they going to throw Timbersaw down there? It's going to be a SF. Shadow Fiend. Do you hear that noise I just made? That is the sound of disapproval. It's not that Shadow Fiend is a bad hero per se. You do have Winter Wyvern on your side, so like you will have that extra cover for the SF. And as SF, you really do want to have a Dazzle type hero, a save type hero. Matchup wise versus the OD, it's fine, but the concern right now for the Shadow Fiend is he's so easy to kill. Like, even through the Winter Wyvern, he is so incredibly easy to take down. And yeah, you can say Mad Kings do have 3 frontline quote-unquote tank heroes, right? Timbersaw, Legion, Night Stalker, they're all going to, at least in theory, provide some sort of buffer between Youth Fury and their SF. But I mean, just look at what Youth Fury have as far as gap closers are concerned. You'll have Nature's Prophet, who has no gap ever. Like, he'll be able to TP wherever he wants. Monkey King can jump right on top of the SF, and at that point, it's unhappy times. Sand King eventually will have that Blink Dagger as well. And even the way Timbersaw Legion Commander behave, they don't really act as static front lines the way a hero like, say, Clockwork might. Where Clockwork, like, he can just stay near the Shadow Fiend, give him the cog, and actually make a wall. Shaker literally can make a wall. But Legion Commander and Timbersaw, they just want to go in. They want to go to the back lines. They want to shred the heroes that are soft and kind of take their kills really quickly, and then anything else that happens, it happens. So I am very concerned for this Shadow Fiend. He may be able to, get a decent... Oh, that is not the right button, guys. He may be able to get a decent matchup over in the mid lane versus the OD. Like, it's reasonable. And then just try to leverage that into just a snowball-y type style. And it does seem like for Mad Kings, that's like the best bet they have right now. Because they do have the Night Stalker. They have, obviously Legion is like the textbook snowball-y type hero. But all these heroes can get really nuts out of control if they get a good start. The only problem with that is that since the Monkey King is the core pickup for the Youth Fury side, the fact that they have a Sand King on that forward position, the fact that they have an OD, a hero that very rarely loses the lane, means that you're very unlikely to lose to a snowbally lineup if you're playing on the Radiant. But, shit happens sometimes. We'll see what they can take from this game. Everyone's just going to be loading out, and it looks like it's going to be more or less what you would expect. An off-lane Legion, a mid-lane Shadow Fiend. Safe lane Timbersaw is rather passive, but, I mean, let's be honest. He's going up against Nature's Prophet. There is not anything Nature's Prophet can do to touch that Timbersaw. All of Nature's Prophet and his lane control relies on using those Treants. And you know what? Timbersaw doesn't give a damn about Treants. He has Poor Man's Shield. He'll have reactive armor. He'll probably go for a little bit more of an aggressive build because he knows that he's just that safe. A little more Timber Chain and Whirling Death if you're going towards the safe lane and not the mid lane. But the Treants will be, as far as damage is concerned, inconsequential. In fact, I'm pretty sure Treants will give Timbersaw more health. Like, every single time a Treant hits a Timbersaw, gives him a reactive armor stack, it will be him gaining HP. Or effective HP, let's say. Sand King rotations. Oh, okay, never mind. We have a little bit of a different play here. They seem to know that the Timbersaw is going to be going up there. I mean, that's like the most reasonable expectation you can have right now. Legion has quite a few heavy hitters here in the lane. But this is actually a lane where Nature's Prophet actually has some counterplay. And oh my god, if this is going to be another one of those games that lasts for like 3-4 hours because everyone is playing a long game and taking a million pauses. Whoa, I was just talking about that in the other game. I'm going to lose it. I just realized I did not fill my water cup. I was doing all that other stuff in the break time, and we started early. So I might die of dehydration. If I do, you guys can have my stuff. All of it. Monkey King going up against Timbersaw is a matchup that I don't believe I've seen. Not firsthand. Timbersaw kind of just outlasts any given lane. And, I mean, reactive armor is powerful. The question is, what's more powerful? 75 damage and a lot of bonus lifesteal or reactive armor? I dare say that the Monkey King should have a, at worst, mediocre matchup. Again, I'm not versed in this one, guys. This is new territory for me. But I'm pretty sure the Monkey King should have a decent matchup against the Timbersaw. And I'm pretty sure any rotation from these Mad Kings side, like Winter Wyvern or Night Stalker, is going to make minimal difference, considering there should also be another hero here For right now, it's a Sand King. Shadow Shaman might show up on that top lane as well, depending on what they can actually see in this bottom lane. Shadow Shaman is not going to be able to drastically help out this Nature's Prophet. Like, up against 3 heroes, Shadow Shaman is not the hero you want to be. So I think I prefer slightly the setup here from the Radiant. Again, how much do you guys want to bet that there is actually no technical issue? It's just someone doing something stupid, like getting the pizza from the front door. Oh my god, pizza will be so good right now. If I give you my address, guys, can you all order pizza for me? That'll be fantastic. And there's no way that that can backfire at all. I can think of no downside to doing that. I feel like most excuses in these online qualifiers for pauses are because of someone doing something they should have done before, but they decided to play Dota instead. There's no way to prove or disprove. That's just my theory. I wonder if they're going to keep a full tri-lane here. Legion tri-lane is actually kind of mediocre. Obviously, you have a Night Stalker. He's going to be moving around. He has boots first. You don't pick up boots first and then stay in lane. That's stupid. But, yeah, Winter Wyvern and Legion Commander won't crush the Nature's Prophet, but it'll have a decent matchup. Even the Winter Wyvern can just go up towards top lane. I feel like once you have 3 heroes up on the top lane, Monkey King, best case scenario, kind of turns into if I'm going to get a kill, I'm going to die for it every single time. There's not much to read into this game. I don't think Monkey King builds up Jingu stacks against Winter's Curse. I'm like 60% sure that he doesn't. But I've played Monkey King ones of times, and it didn't go well. I didn't get to play Monkey King when he was super OP, because I'm not that person. I don't pick heroes, I random heroes. So the only time I play a new hero is when I luck into it. Uh-oh, Nature's Prophet. That's not what you want. Where are you going? He does have boots first. Hit with the Void. The slow from the Winter Wyvern is good. Shadowburn is going to walk out of there. He'll be fine. It will be Bounty Runes, though. Claimed 3-1 in favor of the Dire. I don't really know who this V guy is, but it seems like he's going to take a walk. He wants to take that Nature's Prophet matchup. Or is he? Where's he going? He is not sure if he wants to take the Nature's Prophet matchup. He's just going to waste a lot of his time not blocking, going down this way, and then turning around. I mean, sure, man, whatever you want to do. But this is the concern I had earlier. Shadow Fiend is pretty screwed now. Shackled up and dead. Winter Wyvern's gonna throw in one right click and be like, yep, you're on your own, bud. Shadow Shaman with Sand King is like a super old support crew. Like really, really old combo. And it is kind of finicky because you do require a really, really small initiation range in that Burrow Strike. Like, level 1 Burrow Strike is honestly pathetic. But if you run into a target like this, you can Burrow Strike them. Unfortunately, Monkey King, only level 1, took his passive, so he can't bounce in fast enough. But looks like, for right now, Nature's Prophet does have a decent matchup up against Sword here. Nature's Prophet to send his goons out, and yeah, there may be some lifesteal from the Legion Commander, but Shadowburn for the most part should be fine. Dual lane over in mid is not exactly super helpful, because Winter Wyvern is not exactly a great hero in that regard. Can't really bully back Masha here. And also SNK, 2-1 CS is, how do I put this lightly? Pretty terrible. It's not really that good compared to the 6-4. Got 7 CS on some heroes, 6. And all he needs is a couple points in raise, and he'll start getting that. But there's a very high likelihood that once he does start getting some souls, suddenly there's a Sand King and Shadow Shaman in his face. And that is not fun. Right now, Timbersaw really struggling to get close to the creep wave. Monkey King is technically a melee hero, but comparable to like Luna in range. So you can't really afford to get too close here. 444, I have no idea who this guy is, but he's gonna land a shackle. Jingu, 1, 2. Do I see 3? Boundless Strike gonna cancel the chain, and that'll get the kill. Oh, that was perfectly timed. Night Stalker's going to arrive, but you don't tango with a Monkey King who's got his passive stacks up. It's a bad idea, man. It's a bad idea. Speaking of bad ideas, Winter Wyvern tried to fly over the hill. Fell short. She has wings. You would think she'd be able to survive that. Masha making a fight with the SF now. We'll throw a pretty big nuke the SF's way. Prevent him from getting that last hit of the range creep. It's pretty nice. But it seems like 3-0 and Youth Fury, Furia Jovem. Which, again, no one told me if that's right or wrong. Gonna be off to a roaring start right now. Nature's Prophet, though, chased down. Don't ask why I didn't catch that. It just kind of happened. Treants, though, will wall off the Legion. Get them a response kill. Nature's Prophet, though, is... It's, like, not good, but it's certainly not the end of the world. What has Sand King been doing? Sand King's been chilling on the mid lane a little while, and SNK is losing so much intelligence to this OD. And OD's actually pretty lucky here. Having gone for this build, still has quite a bit of mana. Here comes the Jingu stacks. Mogre, 1, 2, 3, and the Boundless Strike will connect onto Sladin. I mean, that's going to do something, I guess. But it looks like the Monkey King will just back off. They really need a Sand King up there if they're going to make that easy for themselves. The hero is level 3 at this point. And Masha does have 1 more in prison. It's only a level 1 ability. He's not that strong right now. Oh, never mind. He'll chug down his south. He'll be good to go. If you imprison oh, it's not going to work. I see him. There's an observer here, so SF should be fine. And has recovered from his slow start. Monkey King up towards top lane, up against 3 heroes. He does have a Boundless Strike, but there's not enough control here. Winter Wyvern, for some reason, had Arctic Burn on cooldown. Not entirely sure why. Oh, jeez. Why? Why are they so aggressive? I'm just, like, not expecting kills to happen on the bottom lane. FNT Tor's caster right here. Number 1.
I'll take your tribute.
Every single time, though, it's a trade. Legion Commander is getting the kills first, though, and the Treants seal the deal after. So that is Legion Commander scaling experience-wise, level 5. Up against just level 4 of Nature's Prophet, and now there is going to be a spooky blue man in his face. Sword does have 3 points in that nuke. That's going to hit Shadowburn pretty hard. He's going to pop up a couple more dudes. I think he actually missed a little bit there, and now he's going to be forced to just try to book it. Night Stalker has the Void. Sprout is going to cancel onto Sword, but that's not going to work. He's still dead here, right? There's no duel, unfortunately, but you're not going to escape this. Ripperino. Rotation support is coming in just incredibly slowly since they were busy killing off the SF in mid. Can they kill off the SF again? The Observer over here has timed out. If he gets imprisoned, he's in a lot of trouble. Or just shackle. That's good. He's going to call well played. He knows he's screwed. Right, well, SF, nice souls, bro. Back down to 9. The Nature's Prophet did not go back to this bottom lane. Clearly, it's not safe up against his Legion in her aggro. Despite not having phase boots, that overwhelming odds and the fact that it will, on average, hit more creeps than usual means that you're going to be taking a lot of DPS there. And now there's duel up, which is not fun. Now, they do have her by herself with Shackle right around the corner. Now, her passive's great, but you can't attack people if you're stunned. Put that in the fridge. It's going to kill her off. Monkey King's going to arrive. Sick and tired of this top lane, apparently. Although he did get quite a bit off of it. Stopped the Timbersaw from farming. Looks like that may be just a little bit too dangerous for the Monkey King to stick around. Don't blame him. Definitely do need a couple of those big items in the Monkey King. I expect a phase into an Echo Saber base build. Although I've seen a couple of Monkey Kings go for just stats, like Yasha. I still favor the Echo Saber base builds. Uh-oh, Monkey King. As soon as everyone leaves the bottom lane, suddenly he's just dead, dueled up and sliced apart. He had 2 heroes right here, like 10 seconds ago, and they left. And then instantly they jump in. Timbersaw is now going to have to rough it up against the Nature's Prophet. And by rough it, I mean just be perfectly happy because he takes literally no damage. Tower shots? What tower shots? I don't think he notices the fact that he's taking tower shots right now. And he's probably just trying to deny him. Just trying to be annoying. Sword completed up his phase boots, and still, people continue to go down to this bottom lane. One at a time. I'm no expert, but after like the 3rd or 4th death, you would think you would take some care. They are going to get the Burrow Strike, Hex onto Legion Commander, as well as Wrath of Nature. The Shackle gets cancelled, and Moger is going to try to gun for the Shadow Shaman. Flying over the trees, will die to the tower. Witch Prophet has arrived. Can't sprout up Winter Wyvern, but he's going to try anyway. Doesn't matter, still gets to go with the Burrow Strike. And they are able to rotate in enough heroes this time to hold. Heroes, though, being diverted away from the mid lane, away from top lane, as Timbersaw, yeah, maybe gotten a little bit of a slow start. But since there's very little stopping him in this top lane, is now pretty much on track where he wants to be. Shadow Shaman and the Sand King have already gotten a lot of blood. Like, look at this score on Shadow Shaman, 1-0 and 5. Quite frankly, an insane score for a Shadow Shaman. I think 2 of those rotations, or 2 of those kills or assists were on this SF. He's going to leave the lane right now, give it over to the Night Stalker. Night Stalker is not really fantastic up against OD. He does once again have a very defensively placed Observer Ward. Just going to see the Sand King come in. But still, if you get a little bit too bold using Void to kill a creep or something like that for a little bit extra cash, and if you get in prison, you're just boned, man. You're done. Youth Fury doing okay on all fronts, kill-wise. Still, the net worth is very, very competitive within the Dire's cores. Maybe Winter Wyvern is not exactly where she wants to be. Oh, Monkey King, that was a huge hit. Duel is going to be canceled by that Burrow Strike. They have a Shackle and a Hex, so they should be able to keep the Monkey King alive. Boundless Strike will swat down the Winter Wyvern, and now the Shackle will also kill off the Legion, and will get the tower denied. That was not a dual win, I don't believe. That was just Monkey King trading for 2. It's not ideal, but for the Youth Fury side, they're going to take that.
Wow! Wow!
If they can get a Hand of Midas now on the OD, start the split push train, they could really start keeping Mad Kings off balance. Right now, this Monkey King, though, has seemed kind of mediocre. I feel like he's canceled Boundless Strike a couple of times that otherwise would have saved him. Or it got canceled by like a Void mini stun or something like that. This Legion, 4-4-1. I'm not entirely sure if this is like a good performance by a Legion. It's certainly debatable either way. Like, he's getting kills, he's mostly accelerating his experience gain, which is nice for sure. It does feel like, though, if he really wants to hit his stride, it's going to have to involve that Blink Dagger. Oh, that's a hasted, potentially invisible SF who just jacked like a million runes. Is this the dream? The Requiem dream? Nope. He's going to show himself in lane and be obvious as all hell. Monkey King is kind of getting bullied up towards the top. Not taking a lot of damage. He's really struggling for space up against that Timbersaw. Shoving in the wave, bouncing out. Rinse, repeat forever. Sword. Well, that was obvious. They were looking. Where did the creep go? They find a Night Stalker instead. Burrow Strike in range. They have Hex, Shackle, level 3 Shock. And with the Wrath of Nature bouncing in, I don't even think Embrace will help out. In fact, Embrace wasn't even casted. The overwhelming odds hit like 2 guys, so that really didn't do a lot. There's an invisible Shadow Fiend here, but it's not going to be enough to save the Legion Commander. Requiem does do quite a bit of damage, mostly towards that Sand King up towards the top. Masha not dead just yet, as PTT on the high ground is going to Sandstorm his way to freedom. And the Shadow Fiend, we got a couple raises, but ultimately not enough damage being dealt to the Radiant. They clean house. 2-0, and now Masha will maybe stuck around for a little bit too long here. Void won't kill, but a raise from long range is going to get canceled by the Hex. They have a Splinter Blast. 4-4 has to divert it away, and he will go into the trees and die. Burrow Strike is here just short of the Night Stalker. Nipped his heals. TP is coming in from Shadowburn as well as the Monkey King. This is the perfect fight for MK. Exactly what he wants to be doing. Stacking up that Jingu. Shadowburn, though, is going to go down with the curse onto the Monkey King. Treants will turn back on him. A huge overwhelming odds with those Treants. As PGT now in a lot of trouble. Use Sandstorm just for a split second. Boundless Strike will split the wickets and will not save the Sand King. 14-8, and Mad King strike back in a big way. Towards top lane, though. Who is that? Is that Timbersaw? Looks like that's Timbersaw. With Shadow Shaman arriving, there's a chance. They do get the Hex canceling the Timber Chain, and now he's completely tapped out of mana. Super long-range Shackle, and then the Eclipse. Okay, well. These two teams, not to be outdone by game 1 of the day, are going to just go at each other's throats 24/7. Sword uses overwhelming odds, so he does have a lot of movement speed. He also has the Quelling Blade, but he's going to get sprouted in 2 ends. Got to go through 2 walls of trees there, plus has to battle through the Epicenter. Is going to go down, and Sword still getting a decent amount of gold after all is said and done, but dying a little bit too many times. Monkey King has so far gotten no items. He's level 9 with a 3/3/3 build. That is unexpected. And now is just dead? Oh, he just completely whiffed. 1 raise. He just missed his first raise. Sad trombone indeed. I wish I had a sad trombone sound effect to play right now, because that was pretty... That was a free kill, man. You land 2 raises, bam, 100% dead 100% of the time. But, I mean, Monkey King botched his Boundless Strike. Shadow Fiend botched his raises. Fair is fair, I suppose. 444 is in a little bit of trouble here. Gets a Hex. Oh, not communicated well, though. Does still shackle up the Night Stalker. Can they kill him off? Yes, they will be able to. Now Sword trapped in the trees. Can't get the duel. Oh, Shadowburn coming in like a superhero. Now looking after the Winter Wyvern as well. Ends up getting cursed. Will take an okay amount of damage, but mostly defensively. That spell will be used. And this game is an absolute bloodbath, man. This poor Sand King. He just wants Blink Dagger gold. That's all he wants in life, and this tier 2 tower is doing too much damage. Wah, wah, wah. It's okay. There's another creep wave coming in. I believe in you, Sand King. He has Soul Ring, so we can just Burrow Strike the creep wave. Like that. And then get all this... Maybe I shouldn't be shining a microscope like this. It just kind of happened that way, guys. It just kind of happened. Timbersaw. If they had Wukong's command, I think they could kill him off, but having gone for this very balanced build, Monkey King so far has not used Tree Dance like a single time. He's used it once, actually. I remember him using it once. Most of the time, you do just a lot of Jingu Mastery. I think by now, with the amount of disables this team has, it's probably correct to get that Wukong's command. I don't know. It's definitely close. I guess debatable, probably. But like right now, if he had it, super powerful game. Since he doesn't, it's really kind of mediocre. So Burn wanders right into a nuke. Just gonna handle this bottom lane a little bit because Sand King clearly can't cut it. Oh, this OD. Took my eye off of him for just a few seconds. Did get a handful of kills as Heroes just kind of barreled down the mid lane. But he's picked himself up a Hood. Got that Hand of Midas taken away. Now Hood is okay in this game. Like, of course, magic resistance is always going to get some nice value. Like, really, regardless of your matchups, it's going to do something, but it's really a fairly expensive, not aggressive at all item. He's going to find a Timbersaw. He's going to get imprisoned. There are a lot of heroes here, including a Night Stalker who now knows he's spotted because of the Wrath of Nature. Just going to get obliterated. Well, that Epicenter is Celebration. That's an easy 2-kill. But yeah, it's a really expensive item for OD. Like, he scales really well in leveled OD. As long as you get the Midas, you should be pretty happy. But I don't really know if Hooded Defiance gets enough value in this particular game to warrant it. Like, there are just a handful of magic nukes on all these heroes. Nothing really severe. I'll just say the build is debatable. I would say, on the whole, 9 times out of 10, even in this game, I would rather have a 4-staff Dragonlance build. Get that Hurricane Pike going with the offensive barrage of orbs. Alright, Monkey King. You got a miracle run the first time. Can you do it again? He's going to, this time, land the Boundless Strike, which means he's dead, right? That's what it means. That's karma.
Wow!
Gonna camp out at the shrine. His backup is coming in, but it's only a Shadow Shaman right now. Jumps up, wants the rune. There's no rune, but there's also no punish. The rest of the heroes are going down to his bottom lane. Shadowburn can't be seen. They do have a Quelling Blade. Something must have happened there. He used the flight over here just to get in closer to find the Monkey King, so that's fair.
Wow!
Monkey King, Night Stalker. He has a chop. He sees the Monkey King. The Monkey King is just going in, man. He's gonna hit with one raise, Void as well. Splinter fails against the Centaur, just not cooperating. Now here comes that OD. I bet he wishes he had a Force Staff right now over this hood. Although still Sladin is going to be in range for a Hex, right? Yeah, get the Hex. Boundless Strike. Well, there's a Force Staff on the Shadow Fiend. Hurricane Pike, in fact. Uses it on his ally, and then maybe that's the wrong decision. Is going to go into his ultimate. Gets canceled once by Burrow Strike. Sand King in a corner now. Not really where he wants to be. They unleash a Requiem. Not quite going to do enough now. He misses one raise again. SNK really struggling here. Masha, though, not too strong either. Sprout and Imprison, not ideal, but it will get Masha out of there before the duel can land. And ultimately, everyone will walk away alive except for the Shadow Shaman, who I think got caught in the Winter's Curse and then killed by his allies. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It happens, man. As a Shadow Shaman, it's nothing you can do about that. Mad Kings, to their credit, are still keeping this game very farm competitive, despite being 11 kills down. It's going to be a lot harder, though, once this Sand King gets that Blink Dagger. Like we can see, if they had a Blink Dagger in this wild chase down here, easy kills. Or a Force Staff, which he now has. He had an 8-Toast queued up, and that would have been a little bit too defensive for my liking. I think that would have been a mistake. But I like this. Now going for the, let's say more standard build. That Hurricane Pike Force Staff. Just a little bit of extra catch. It'll be timed up pretty well with the Blink Dagger and the Sand King. He should have it flying out to him. He has it right now, in fact. And Timbersaw has been playing PvE on this top lane. And that is both good and bad. Like, obviously, you want to get farm as a Timbersaw. It's nice to have these items. Getting that Bloodstone, really, really powerful. But at the same time, this is the type of hero that if you just sit back and farm, you will actually be pissing away the period in time where you're the most powerful. Right now is the time where Timbersaw is fairly unkillable and does a ton of damage. And he's going to wander in by himself into a tier 2 and then now try to escape. I'm not really sure if that was necessarily the play. Boundless Strike to Chain Stun, they get the Shackles, he's dead. Going over here as a Timbersaw is really dangerous. Using Timber Chain to go into this position is really bad, because you could be surrounded so easily because of that shrine. But yeah, Timbersaw, you want to be active. You want to be able to participate in these fights. And that is exactly what did not happen. Why is everyone jumping in at 0 HP? Masha's going to pick a fight. He doesn't have much healthy backup here. Now here comes the Legion Commander. He's going to jump in with the duel. Is not guaranteed to win, although with the reinforcements coming in, they will make quick work of that OD. Timbersaw showing up big. And will kill off the Legion Commander. One more right click. Epicenter as well. Charged up onto the Shadow Fiend. Right clicks, not quite good enough. The Embrace is going to save him, and Shadowburn now has to run. Looks like he can't run far enough away. It's a 4-kill for Mad Kings as Monkey King, for some reason, joined the fight at 0 HP. Still has literally 0 items. How is that possible? Oh, he went for Midas. Okay. Yeah, sure. This game is a questionable game. We get to see, though, the power of Winter Wyvern. We get to see what happens when Mad Kings actually decide to fight as a team, including that Timbersaw. Turns out he does a lot of damage when he's not 1v5. Oh, Sladin almost dead in that area. But also, that was just like a bad call initially from OD. Like, as an OD, if you find a Shadow Fiend like this, like, you shouldn't really be super eager to fight that. You should be kind of cautious. Like, as powerful as OD is, he's not all powerful right now. In fact, he has less farm than the Shadow Fiend. Obviously, he doesn't know that, but you got to make sure your team is ready to fight. Well, there goes the smoke. You can teleport in, doesn't matter. You got to make sure your team is ready to fight, and Monkey King was indeed not ready to fight, being at full, or half HP rather. It's like Timbersaw smelled that smoke coming, was not seen, but there is no one on the map. A shockingly low number of Radiant heroes. Still, this complete wraparound may work out unless Timbersaw is the one to intercept it. It's going to be kind of a half wrap round, so it probably won't work. We're going to go into Roach. Fiend has quite a bit of damage here. Youth Fury just... We're in this area. And maybe are just not going to touch it. Nature's Prophet is in the base? Why is he in the base? They're just really scared right now. If you want to make the enemy team scared as Night Stalker, you just jam that button. It works like 98% of the time. About 97% of the time. They just walk in, take actually forever to kill Roche, and get away with it. Burrow Strike does miss, even with the Blink Dagger. And now, you guys don't want to fight this, I promise. Timbersaw is going to dive right in, puts up the Blade Mail, gets hexed up though. Imprisoned as well. Shadowburn off to the side is in a really bad spot. Burrow Strike will land onto 2. Sanity's Eclipse is available. They drop the Serpent Wards and actually end up trapping Sword in the Sprout as well. Finally, the Monkey King drops his ultimate, but he's going to be forced to turn around and kill off his friendly OD. Not going to die to that though. Hex off onto the Shadow Fiend, keeps him out of the fight. Epicenter coming in. Shadow Fiend is going to take an absolute beating here. There goes his Aegis. And it will be Mad Kings, in fact, to lose absolutely everyone. So far, SNK fails the Force Staff of the high ground, will be spotted by the Serpent Wards, but again, this is not a fight they should be chasing forward for. You can land the Burrow Strike, yeah, but do you have enough backup to get these kills? I'm not convinced that you do. What is he doing? Monkey King, come on! Play seriously, man. Balance Strike lands onto 3. Very well played, but another Force Staff from SNK. Once again, gonna unleash his ultimate, will do quite a bit of damage, but it's not good enough. He needs more backup here. Timbersaw is doing what he can, but SNK is going to fall. Death Requiem, though, cleans house as Timbersaw is going to get himself out of there. But, oh, no, actually, OD survived that. I just saw him disappear. I thought he died, but no, imprisoned himself, preventing that Death Requiem. And it's a 1 for 4, 5? Something like that. Well, let me tell you guys, the outcome of picking up Aegis into a team fight is not usually going to be favoring the team that just lost Aegis. But OD, man, stayed alive for a really long time. I think the MVP, though, definitely got to be that Shadow Shaman. Made all the right calls there. First of all, instant Hex up onto the Timbersaw, nullifying that Blade Mail. Second of all, was able to capture the Shadow Fiend off to the side, and pretty much just 1-for-1 himself out. Sacrificed his own life, even though he didn't die, to take out the SF in his first life. Perfectly played, and oh, Legion is gonna get hexed up. Jump in from the Monkey King, Burrow Strike, and they have Balance Strike, which he will use to secure the kill.
Who put you in charge of a Legion?
Cannot blame Legion Commander for that one. You do not expect a Sentry Ward here. Like, here of all places, really?
Radiant's top tower is
Sand
under
King,
attack.
looking for more. Finds a fuzzy blue man. And that's Burrow Strike. Lands it. They lose vision, and he can just... Oh, it's not daytime. It is potentially darkness. I think maybe darkness fly away.
Dire's bottom
Doesn't matter, got
is
kill.
under attack.
Mogre down.
Dire's structures are fortified.
He's trying to last hit the catapult, and then OD just Midases it. Classic play.
Dire's bottom tower
Mad Kings do not... Well, you don't want to be there, Sand King. That blink was a questionable blink. 4 for 4, you also don't want to be there. Jump in. They do get the duel onto the OD, but now here comes the Wukong's command. Balance Strike as well, giving Masha full cover as he's able to get out. Here comes the Epicenter as well. Perfect team fight so far. May end up killing the Sand King because of the Winter's Curse, but you know what? That's fine. They'll take down the Timbersaw. I don't know why Shadow Fiend's here. He's going to try to cheese out for an OD. No, OD's perfectly fine.
Radiant's middle tower
It's a
is
2
under
for
attack.
2 despite that execution, which was damn good for the Radiant. Not enough sustained power. They were going into a lot of tanky heroes. Like, it took them a long time, but they were able to kill off Timbersaw. Level 20 Timbersaw with a ton of farm, as well as Legion Commander. I mean, it's worth it, trading away your 2 expendable supports for that.
This'll come in handy.
Shadowburn over sentries, not anymore. Still spotted. Is there a gem here? No, this is all blind. And he's gonna stick around because they still know that SNK is here. Surprise, man! Does have a Hurricane Pike out, but Balance Strike not only gonna connect onto him, but also cut off his retreat in the Timbersaw. He's gonna lose even more souls. I don't think he's even maxed now, and the Timbersaw is gonna get beaten down. Blade will return a lot of damage. Rest assured, it's not enough. Oh my god, look at how juicy this overwhelming odds is right now. Oh my god. Unfortunately, Legion is like nowhere nearby at all.
Is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
And Furia Jovem now is starting to kick into full gear. Winter Wyvern, that's a bad idea, bro. Curse only lands onto the Shadow Shaman. Monkey King is going to be A-okay, and now they see Winter Wyvern. The chase is on. Sprout makes some goons. He's down to the low ground. Oh, but he's now going to have to deal with an OD. Imprisoned, and there's no backup here either. Sprout is going to... Oh, perfectly set up for the Boundless Strike. Okay, that did some damage. So he tried to get a cheese kill on the Monkey King and failed. You can't do that, man. That's just not how this game is played. That's not how Dota works. I mean, it wasn't that. It was pretty close. It was pretty close. 33-16, though. Radiant team definitely feeling themselves. Perhaps a little bit too much. This is a concern. If you make an aggressive move like this, you damn well better be sure you have your entire team here. They're missing right now 4 for 4. And they're not exactly full HP either. So a little bit over aggressive perhaps. Packet loss. You don't need packets to play Dota. Packets of what? What does OD have? He has to have another item by now, right? No, yeah. Oh, it's a Hurricane Pike, okay. It's like, where is all of this gold? 2,700 gold. Got a Hurricane Pike. Still not entirely convinced that this hood is getting value. But, you know, it's too late. Obviously, you're not going to ditch it at this point. Going for a Lincoln Sphere is pretty powerful. Definitely leveraging his levels more so than anything else. I mean, he's mad farmed. He can afford to go for a perhaps more defensive build than usual. For this game, though, Lincoln Sphere is extremely high value, so I'm on board with that. Still on the fence with that barrier hood that provides a barrier. I mean, Masha's surviving for a very long time. And there's something to be said with that in particular for OD, just because the longer you survive, the more orbs you drop, especially now that you have the Dragon Lance built in. Keep yourself safe at a distance and just scale up with that damage. Shadowburn also. Kind of a little bit quiet as of late. I mean, set up the kill on the SF over here, obviously. But is just doing pretty standard Nature's Prophet things. And he has himself a big item soon to be flying out to him in that Shadowblade. Silver Edge, rather. He already has Shadowblade, obviously. If you can break Timbersaw, you are so happy. If you can break Shadow Fiend, you're pretty darn happy as well. Incredible value in this game, as long as he lands it on the heroes that matter. Oh, took a Blink Dagger instead of the Lincoln Sphere. Okay, I like it. It's all about keeping a healthy range as OD. If you can skirt the range of your attack and the enemy's attacks, you're going to be winning, man. You're going to be winning those fights. Dire side definitely a little bit cautious in this approach right now. They know that their jungle is dead, so they're going to hop into the enemy jungle and see what they can get. Moger was even perhaps going a little bit too far for his own good. Wasn't punished there. But, could have definitely been a lot worse. And this is, I think, a pretty good display of what happens when your Timbersaw, let's say, farms too much. Like, he's a super high level. He has a lot of gold. But it still feels like he's useless because he failed to scale. He failed to snowball, right? He was just farming creeps instead of heroes. Oh, int farm for the OD. Burrow Strike is there. Onto the Legion Commander, who's going to take an absolute beating from the Monkey King, giving damage over to the OD. Now onto Moger, grabs a double kill. 2 cores in the back, trying to flee the Timbersaw, put into a bubble. There is an angry Shadow Shaman right outside, including a Burrow Strike and a Shackle. Requiem on the side won't do quite enough. BBB's still not dead just yet. Gets tagged with an Orchid from Shadowburn. Now SNK trying to do it all himself. The tower in the meantime has fallen. Serpent Wards take care of that. And the OD will once again survive. 3-0. As the Radiant side, Youth Fury going to start closing in the map on Mad Kings. 2 tier 2 towers now down. Both times the Winter Wyvern in a interesting position. As Winter Wyvern defending a tier 2 tower, you should be literally over here. Like, you want to be as far... Why is Timbersaw here? Oh, he's jungling. I understand now. Have some orbs. He got broken as well, but he did get the Timber Chain off. He can Yules off this silence if he needs to, but it's better if he just runs. Masha, now he's going to Yules, try to buy some space for his allies to come in. Here comes SNK. Masha's rather tanky right now. Duel is in. Onto the Nature Prop. They'll shred him. As the rest of Furia Jovem, they just got out of there, man. They did not want to fight that. Okay, so we have a little bit of miscommunication on the Radiant side, but I think their overall gameplay style is at a higher level than Mad Kings, but Mad Kings may be communicating better. So where do you place your value on who's gonna win? Communication or skill level? I mean, obviously the deficit is not perfectly even, the weights aren't perfectly even, but I don't know. It definitely seems like that may be the case. That's like the third or fourth time the Radiant have picked a fight when they're not ready to pick a fight. Mad Kings get on the map. Their Shadow Fiend still is pretty stacked. BKB obviously showing off how good it is versus the OD. As that charge starts to dwindle though,
Dire's bottom tower is under
OD
attack.
is going to be a pretty happy camper. He still has the option of going for his own BKB. Fresh 10 seconds. If you get a 10-second BKB like 40-50 minutes in a game, it is so hard to deal with that. You can just literally stand still and just attack whoever is near you.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant are scanning. What are you doing? Scanning for resources. Are they going to send in a probe? Do they want Palladium? No, they want Night Stalkers. He's pretty darn dead. And Timbersaw is going to think about coming in. Oh, Monkey King pops the BKB, drops down, immediately drops his ultimate, will do quite a bit of damage, but ends up getting dueled. And it looks like he's pretty much separated. Curse goes off. That'll actually save the Monkey King. And the Curse didn't actually do anything. Now Shadow Fiend has to TP out. Looks like he will survive. The Winter Wyvern not as much so. And they're just going to GG. That was a shame GG, guys. I mean, they don't have any buybacks. They have one buyback, but Timbersaw doesn't. So, Winter's Curse. Yeah, it gives people immunity. And I think that actually ended up saving the Monkey King. No, I'm not sure. A lot of effects there, BKBs, you know, a lot of shiny things. Very easy to be distracted by that. But, yeah, that was again, add another one to the pile of a list of games from these SA qualifiers that end in like the weirdest ways. This one wasn't too weird, but it's definitely on the list anyway. Youth Fury making a couple of mistakes here and there, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It's all about learning from those mistakes and improving yourself. And you know, for Mad Kings, I think if the Timbersaw just had a TB scroll and used it 5-10 minutes earlier, would have been a much different game. You don't want to ignore the early game power of Timbersaw. You don't want to ignore the power of reactive armor. But, you know, what's done is done. Youth Fury going to claim victory here in this game 1. We'll see if these other games are as entertaining as this one that we just saw. Again, winner of this has to face up against SG Esports. I don't envy anyone who has to go up against SGE, but it's still best of 3, guys. A lot more Dota to be played. I'm Mike Loris, and I'll be back in just a bit.